another design video. Hope you guys are having a great week. If you're new to my channel, I'm Pavi Arav. I'm a user experience designer at Amazon. If you're again back to my channel, welcome back. So if you've been following along, I started this new interview series, Get That Design Job. So I posted one video last week which is about finding a design profile, which is all about what your interests are, what the different types of designers and where your skills lie and so forth. If you haven't watched that, you can go back and watch that in my channel. But if you've already found your design profile, this is the obvious step 2, which is to create your resume. So I'm just going to go through a list of things that you would probably need in your design resume, be it a user experience designer, product designer, interaction designer, and so forth. So the resume that I'm going to talk through, the elements of the resume I'm going to talk through today are mostly related to UX design, product design, and interaction design, because those are the kind of roles I apply to and I have experience in. So but I'm sure they apply to most of the other design roles as well, but you can always just Google and find out if you know there are some additional requirements that you need. But yeah, let's hop right into the video of what you need in your resume. So I have my handy cheat sheet, and as you can see, it's really small. That's how you know there's not much you need to put in your resume, but it's also really important. I have always had a one-page resume, no matter how many projects I've done, no matter how many companies I've worked in, which is only 3, but no matter how many projects I've done, I've always tried to limit it to one page, because I've realized that the recruiters don't really have the time to go through pages and pages of resume. 1 to 2 pages the max that they can quickly scroll through and get an idea of what your profile is. So the very first thing that you obviously want to add is your name and your phone number and your email address. These 3 are very important because they need to be able to immediately contact you. So having a phone number and an email address there is really handy. And then a portfolio. Of course, all designers have to have a portfolio. So if you have the portfolio, I mean, you should be having a portfolio, so leave the link over there. And if you have a password to your portfolio, mention that in there as well, because I can't tell you so many times when the recruiters can't find or access your portfolio, and they just kind of don't have the patience to reach out to you and ask for your password. So it's always better to put your password on there. And then of course your LinkedIn. Everybody has LinkedIn, almost everybody has LinkedIn. So if you have a LinkedIn profile, add that on there as well, because they can see the mutual connections, they can see your skills and awards and stuff like that. So it's really useful to have that on there. And then after you've done with the bio part of it, you have the experience section where you have everything about your work. If you have any prior work experience, definitely add that on there. You want to have like title and the company that you work for and the period of time you worked for over there. And also once you have that kind of bio thing on top, you might want to state some responsibilities. And also it really helps to have some projects. I think that's been really helpful. They'll just know what kind of projects you've been working on. And also a tip that one of my friend gave me was to add the project outcomes or the impact the project had on the customers or the business. That is super important, and I feel like once I added that, the number of recruiter calls I got significantly increased. So have a couple or 3 or really important projects or big scale projects that you worked on, and also what the impact of it was on the customer or the business. Definitely add that, and also what your contribution was in that. And that covers like the experience section. And then then comes the education, and this one I would say don't give too much real estate to this unless you don't have a work experience. Then you might want to add stuff like what classes you take, if you did any projects, or if you were part of any clubs or communities, or if you did any internship. All that internship actually goes in the work experience, but then if you have anything related to your education, put that on there. But if you have a lot more work experience, that counts much better than the education. So if you have a lot more to put in the work, definitely put in that section. In education, just put like in my resume, I just have the degree that I got from which university, and what the timeline was. I don't even have my undergrad degree on there because it is not relevant. So in your resume, always try to put relevant experience. It doesn't matter how much stuff you have, as long as it's not relevant, as long as it's not qualitative, it doesn't really matter. So after you're done with your education, you would probably want to put your skills and tools. Skills with respect to design, any soft skills, any tools that you know, SketchUp, Figma, etc., etc. And then design skills are mostly like, research and testing, and like any affinity programming, mockups and stuff like that. And also, if you have any programming skills such as C++, CSS, HTML, anything of that sort, put that in there as well. And then after that, you want to do accomplishments, anything related to if you've won any awards, or if you've been recognized for something at school or in your workplace, or even if you won any awards like design awards and stuff like that in some conferences, anything of that sort, any acknowledgements, awards, honors that you've received, put that on there. And then there are some optional things that you could add, such as the motto of what you believe in terms of design, or any tagline, or what your objective of this resume is. And also, maybe you would wanna, I have like a logo which I've created, which you can see in my portfolio. I added that in the resume as well. And sometimes people even have their own picture up there, so you could do that as well. And another optional thing is the place you're from. If you're restricting yourself to only, like, say you're from San Francisco and you only want to find jobs in San Francisco, it really helps to kind of add your location. But if you don't want to restrict yourself, don't add a location. So it's purely optional. And apart from all this, it's just the overall design of the resume. You're a designer, so treat this as another project. Don't treat this as something you just need to put out there. Treat it as a project. Treat it as something that you need to go through multiple iterations, come up with different ideas, different designs. Even though the content is the same, make it more creative, make it pop, so that as soon as a recruiter looks at your resume, they kind of want to go through it and read it. Make sure it catches a person's eye. So make sure it stands out, but at the same time keep it simple. I know that's really hard to do, but just add a few elements here and there to really make it pop. Other than that, I think, just these few things. There's a lot of things, but it takes a lot of time to make a resume. But once you have it nailed and pat down, it's so much more efficient, because you don't have to keep reiterating it, you don't have to keep tweaking it. And of course, you're not going to get it straight away. Only when you keep applying, you keep getting feedback, and you keep trying, that's when you know what's the right resume that's getting you a lot of response and that you really have nailed. So definitely do that. I think it was quite a long video, but it's like resume is very important, so I wanted to make sure I covered everything I know about resume creation or resume building. And I know there's also a lot of when I was creating my resume, I just went online. I kept searching UX design resumes, product design resumes, and I just kept searching. And then there's so many articles which have these really cool inspirations, so I would kind of steal like an artist, take inspiration from those designs. But other than that, I think those are the few things. But if you have any questions, or if you want me to review your resume, email them to me at pavi4@gmail.com, and leave it down in the comments below. If you have any questions, you don't want to leave them in the comments, but you want to ask me, email me. And also, if you want me to send me your resume, and also maybe I could do a section where I'm reviewing the resumes. And if you guys are okay with that, I can show it in the next video. But if you're not okay with that, mention the email as well. I would rather just have a personal review, so then I would just send you my thoughts in the email. So if you want me to review it, send me your resumes to this email. And if you have any questions, leave them down in the comments below as usual. And if you think you like this video, please like it, share it, so someone else might benefit from it. And subscribe to my channel, because there's so many more videos of this sort coming in the interview series. Also, not just subscribe, if you're on Instagram, follow. So I started a new Instagram page. It's called Pavi Arav Design. So I put more things other than design. So definitely follow there as well. But other than that, I'll see you again next week. Bye.